Okay, so today we are going to talk about 4.4 and 4.5. We're going to talk about factoring using synthetic division for a little bit, and then also just factoring and solving by factoring. So we can't forget what we learned last semester about factoring. So the first thing that we're going to be on page 95 in your journals for some notes is we're going to look at number 15. We have f of x equals x cubed minus 13x minus 12. And they're asking us, they have this little semicolon, and then they have this x plus 1 to the outside. I'm going to put parentheses around that. What they're saying is they're asking, is this a factor of this trinomial? So this polynomial. So typically, if this was a power of 2, if that was a power of 2, we would factor into 2 binomials and we would figure that out. When we're looking at this, though, this is a power of 3. So we're going to use synthetic division in factoring that. But remember, this x plus 1 means that it crosses the x-axis at -1, right? So x is -1, so we're going to use that -1 there. Also, don't forget, it has to go in descending order. So we have x to the power of 3, so we have 1, but we have 0x squared, so we need a 0 there. Then we need -13 and -12. If you want, you can put the variables here. They're usually not there because it's just numbers, but understanding where those numbers come from. Okay, then remember, we're going to bring down the first term, the first coefficient always. We don't do anything with it. We're going to bring the 1 on. We're going to multiply on the outside and then bring that number up on the inside, add or subtract. We don't change signs inside here. And so that becomes -1. Then we start that process all over again, multiply again on the outside, so it becomes a +1, becomes -12, multiply on the outside, becomes +12, and this becomes 0. Then remember, this is your remainder. And if the remainder is 0, like it is here, then it is a factor. It is a factor. So what we have here is we have f of x equals x plus 1. That comes from here. And then remember, it goes remainder, number, variable, and then variable squared. Then if this is the power of 4. So we have x squared minus x minus 12. What I want you to remember too is this power, the degree of the polynomial. The degree of the polynomial is 3. So that means I have 3 solutions. But we can't forget that we could also have imaginary solutions. But we want to stop and think. Our first solution is -1. I'm not asking you to solve, but we are looking at that the next section. And so then we have to say, okay, well, is this trinomial completely factored? If it is, we're done, but it's not. So we have an x here, 2 numbers you multiply together to get -12. So we have -4 and 3, but I add those same 2 numbers together to get -1. So -4 plus 3 becomes -1. So we have our -4 and our +3. So this is 4.4. You will be factoring those completely. Okay, completely. So let's look at another one. Okay, so I'm going to look at number 16. So we have f of x equals 6x to the power of 3 plus 8x squared minus 34x minus 12. And they're like x minus 2. Is that a factor? So x minus 2 out here. So it's a +2. Descending order, 3, 2, 1 number, right? So we have 6, 8, -34, -12, so I don't have to add anything there. Drop down the 6, multiply on the outside, bring that up on the inside, multiply again on the outside, add or subtract on the inside, multiply again, so it becomes 0. So yes, it is a factor. So we have a remainder, number, variable squared. And so as of right now, we have f of x equals x minus 2, 6x squared plus 20x, it's a plus 6. And we should be able to see that we have a greatest common factor here, which is 6, right? You could also factor out, if it's possible, your x, you could. Or you could go right into synthetic division, again, using your graphing calculator. Okay, so hopefully you all can see that they share a 2. So that 2 is going to come to the outside. And this is going to become 3x plus 10x plus 3, right? And then we're going to factor this, x plus 2. So we have 3x and x, so two numbers you multiply together to get 3x, so x squared. So 3x times x, right? And then two numbers I multiply together to get 3, and then we have to check our middle term. So we're going to do plus 1 plus 3, and then check our middle term. So this becomes 1x, this becomes 9x, so together they become 10x. So this is my factored form. Okay? Okay, so that's the first section. You're just factoring. If your remainder is not 0, it is not factorable within that term, so just move on. Okay, just put no and move on. Then the last section we're going to talk about is just factoring. So I'm on page 99 in your journals, so we're going to solve by factoring. And remember, when you solve, that means I have to get x equals. I want to know where does it cross the x-axis. I could have done that at this stuff at the beginning, but we're doing it just kind of separate here. So remember, when x equals a number, that means y is 0. F of x is still y. You always look for your greatest common factor. That means anything divisible by all of the terms, right? So it becomes x squared minus x minus 12. So we have x squared, the trinomial is factorable, x minus 4, x plus 3, right? We're looking at two numbers to get negative, multiply together to get negative 12, but when I add them together, I get negative 1. And we're not done, we're solving. So I have to say x squared equals 0. Well, I take the square root. And x equals plus minus 0, but there's no such thing, right? X minus 4 equals 0, so x equals 4. And x plus 3 equals 0, so x equals negative 3. And I should have 4 solutions. Well, x squared, there's 2 solutions. It means it hits 0 twice. So there's 2 there, 3, 4. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's look at number 8. So we have f of x equals negative 4x to the power of 3 plus 12x squared minus 9x. So my greatest common factor is a negative x, because remember we can't have a negative here in the first term. So this becomes x squared, sorry, 4x squared. 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. Our trinomial turns into two binomials. So two numbers you multiply together to get 4x squared. So I could have 2x and 2x, or I could have 4x and 1x. Remember, I typically said it's the ones that are closer to each other. So we're going to try the 2x. And then two numbers that I multiply together to get 9. So I have 3 and 3. I have 9 and 1. But look at my middle term is negative. So they're both going to have to be negative, right? So I'm going to try negative 3, negative 3. So we have negative 6x. We have negative 6x. Add them together, I get negative 12x. So this is my factored form, right? But I'm asking you to solve. So we're going to set this equal to 0. So negative x equals 0. So x is 0. So there's 1. I'm going to set both of these equal to 0. They're both going to be the same solution, right? So we're going to add that 3 over. So 2x equals 3, divide by 2. So x equals 3 halves. And I should have 3 solutions, but there's 2 of these, right? So it hits that 3 halves twice.